Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to remove what you would need to take off of a Mezco figure to add new clothing, including taking off the hands, the boots, and the outfit. So we're going to go ahead and try that out. So this custom actually came out of just haphazardous things happening. I picked up this KO Deadpool. The head I received in a lot of Mezco parts that I bought. The outfit I bought from GPS Lot, and really was just a spur of the moment type buy. Just kind of like the way it looked. I really had no plans for it. The 3A jacket. I love 3A stuff. If I could pick up a piece like this for a reasonable price, I do. The boots came from another custom. These were left over. And the Batman hands came with a lot of hands that I purchased. So I decided just to bash all this together. I really had no need for the Deadpool outfit. And then the bright colors don't really too much for me. I can always repaint them, but I decided just to go this route just to show what it's like to remove these parts and make a custom out of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to boil some water. So I start out by getting some hot water ready. So while the water's heating up, we're going to take a break. So I fill the cup about a third of the way up. Then we will take it over to the microwave. And this depends on how your microwave heats. This one actually heats pretty quickly. So we're going to boil this for 2 minutes. And through the magic of camera work, we'll be back when this is done. Max is patiently awaiting the water to boil. Alright, we've got the last few seconds going on here. The water's nice and hot, it's boiling. What we're going to do is take the figure. I guess we'll do the boots first. Oops. Just give it, I don't know, 20, 25, 30 seconds. Let it get nice and soft. So this way you're not putting any stress on the pegs. And it should pop right off of there rather easily, again, with no damage. Let's try it. And if you're sensitive to heat, you may put some gloves on or something, because this is kind of hot. I fortunately don't really have an issue with heat. We're going to do the hands now. So just be careful. Like I said, it is boiling hot water. Now these parts, you know, as I would do, can always be repainted black, so they're much more usable. And then you can always repaint them after that, you know, whatever color you wanted. Just take the head off of there. Now in this case, I'm leaving the wrist pegs in place because we're going to use them for the new hands. So now we have this outfit, which obviously we don't need anymore. So I'm just going to cut the seam. Again, I don't really have any use. You can always be really careful and cut right along the seam, and then you can sew it back up if you needed to. In this particular case, I'm going to discard the outfit because I don't really think I have much of a use for it. So I'll just take a typical pair of scissors. And we're going to go right down the seam line. You see it actually just pulls right apart in this case. So if you did want to keep the outfit intact, it's rather clean and you're able to keep the article. So there you go. He's about as naked as he's going to get. So I always like it, just as a side note, to see the sculpting that goes into this. And it's a lot of stuff that gets lost because there's clothing on it. But it's a really nice job. Mezco definitely should be applauded for the work that they do. So now we're going to put all this stuff aside because that's the stuff we're not going to be using. And we're going to take a look at the GPS lot Punisher outfit. I'm going to start with the top because that's generally the hardest one to get on. And if you're stuck inside your quarantine, this is actually a good project. You can take your time with it, and it gives you something to do that is productive. Now these clothes do stretch a lot in most cases, so don't be worried about opening a seam or tearing them, which I've only had happen one time. And there's always a bit of futzing you have to do to get the seams lined up, but that's part of it. Alright, so it looks pretty good. Again, once everything's together, there's a bit more futzing that can be done. Let's see if... I'm not sure if this is going to go right on. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to have to boil a little more water for the hands. So in a situation with the hands and boots, again, you'll have to reboil some water or keep the old water and just reheat it because you want to make sure, again, that the material's soft so you don't damage the pegs. This does fit really well, and you can always give them a belt or whatever you want to do. All right, like I said, I'm going to boil some more water, and I'm going to add the hands and the boots, so I will be right back. All right, so I've reboiled the water, and we're going to soak the feet and the hands. Now, I've actually, in the meantime, checked out this jacket. It does fit, however, the arm is somewhere around here, it's ending. So I don't think I'm going to use this, only because I don't want to have to cut or deal with messing up this coat, because I do like it a lot. Would have been really cool looking on him. But for now, I'm not going to do that. But it would work on a Mezco figure. Just like I said, the arms, they're coming in the sleeve a bit too short. So I don't want to mess around with that right now. In this case, instead of sticking my fingers in boiling hot water, I am going to use a fork and take the parts out, which again are pretty damn hot, so just be careful. Now these, I've forgotten, I dremeled out the inside so they'd fit on a WWE figure. So I do have a second pair that I'm going to use instead, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and use these. Oops. I don't know if you can see the inside of that, but I dremeled it out. again, for the WWE foot peg, which is why they're going on a little bit too easy here. But again, you get the point. Tilt this out. So I know a lot of people enjoy using, yeah, you know what, I think I'm actually going to have to use this. Yeah, I didn't realize you actually need the length of this. All right, I'm going to actually call an audible here. I'm going to paint these forearms, and I'll show you that, and then we're going to go and reattach it, so I'll be right back. All right, so as I said, we are going to go ahead and paint these cuffs. What I use is Citadel's Chaos Black. This dries on any surface. There's never any residue, it's never tacky, sticky, anything like that. So it's a really good primer base. So again, we're just going to go ahead and paint this up and then get back to the video. All right, we'll be back. So while I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I actually went and picked up this other pair of boots that were purchased off eBay, and you see the hole is much better. These are castings of the Mezco boots, which you can buy pretty reasonable price. I'm going to see if this is going to fit on without having to boil it. Yep. Much better fit than the ones that I dremeled. Now the other ones would have worked. You'd have to just fill it with a bit of plumber's epoxy or some type of putty. And now for the head, it's going to take a little bit of futzing because this does have a turtleneck. So we got to get that in there. So I'm going to take a pause and play with that a minute. Well, with some good advice, I removed the shirt, put the head back on, and we're going to then redo the shirt because I don't think it was going to fit without damaging the turtleneck, and I absolutely do not want to do that. So with this, just be careful, just take your time with it. There's no need to rush anything. And let's see if this actually fits through this hole. So it really does not want to fit through there. But we're going to keep trying. Biggest problem I have with this is trying to just get a hold of it to pull it through. It's like a baby being born. We have breech. Of course, it's caught on his ear. I don't know how much of this video people are going to fast forward or whatever, but I don't know where to actually pause it with some of this stuff. So, oh, all right. Well, hopefully at that point it's wide enough I can just get it through. All right. I'm going to futz around with this a little bit to put those ends back in. And a lot of it, even if you've done, which I've done a bunch of 1/6 scale stuff, a lot of this is just playing around with it afterwards, getting the material to lay better, that type of thing. And that translates really well into 1/12. All right, I'm going to go check on the forearms and see if they're ready. I'll be right back. All right, so the forearms are all painted up. So we're going to put those back on. This is one downside to using a Deadpool figure, is that you do have to use these. I guess if you were going to use the jacket or some other covering, you could thin these out enough and use it that way. In this particular case, that is not what I'm doing. Oh, his head is going to kill me. All right, I'm leaving that for now. So this is quite a bit loose. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that, because I do want to use the black hands. And these are from Batman. Unless I can find another set that fits a little bit better. So we're going to take a break. This is stuff you run into when customizing. I mean, you're fitting different parts that aren't meant to fit together, that type of thing. But you work your way around it. Like I said, I'm going to go through my hand box and see what fits better, if anything does. I'll be right back. All right, so I try to keep all my stuff organized. So this particular case contains all of my 1/12 hands. So I'm looking basically for something that is black and may have a smaller pig hole. So I do see some stuff here. Take a look at it. These look very tiny. You can see the difference between, this is a Damn Toy and Mezco. So that obviously wouldn't be a good fit, because he'd look like he has little midget hands. I don't know if that is a politically correct thing to say anymore. These are from the T800 Terminator by Great Toys. So we're going to check those out. Let's see, again, compared to Mezco, they're really small. So yeah, even if they do fit, we're not going to use that. So I may have to go back to square one and rethink this. which again is all part of the game. You know, one of the things we can do is repaint these so they're black. Let's take a look here real quick. The whole size isn't that far off, so I don't know why they're not fitting better. I don't know what this one's from, but this looks like it would actually fit. It doesn't really have a really good gloved look, so I don't think I'm going to go with that. So this one is from, I believe, a McFarlane military figure. And I actually do like it, so I'm going to see if I can find a match to it. And if I do, now we're on the opposite side where this, I think, is going to have to be opened a little more. And we can do that. So I'm going to take a break again, and we're going to address this. Alright, so we got the hands on. Boots are on. Now as far as if you want a belt, I got the original Mezco version. Take a look here. I actually think this might be a tiny bit small on him. But it's not terrible. Anyway. The other thing I think would look cool is to give him a holster. So this is from the Marvel Legends Deadpool figure. If I can get this back off now. Alright, this is not going to comfortably fit. So what I'm going to do is cut it, put it around, and or give him actual straps, material straps that is. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's definitely very far off as far as the fit goes. But again, that could be adjusted. Not really a big deal. So anyway, that is what is involved with swapping that out. And I would spend a little more time adjusting the belt a little bit better, the thigh holster. I would cut these straps off and use regular cloth straps so it would look a little bit better. Otherwise, the fit is really nice. And I do like it better than the greenish blue Deadpool bodysuit. Anyway, that's what I got. I appreciate you watching as always, and I will catch you later.
Keep watching for the next video. Come back soon. Bye.